Hi everyone, and welcome to the Shrine of Anubis. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back and nice to see you again. So tonight, I want to address a question from one of my viewers. So you will see me use my phone because I need to remember. So I will be grabbing my phone because Jinx Bites has a very fascinating question that I wanted to address as a video, not as a comment, simply because I feel that there is quite a lot that I can talk about in regards to the questions that were made, that I decided to let them know, hey, I'm going to address this as a video because I feel that there is quite a lot that I can talk about in regards to your questions. So, the first question is, why does Anubis choose certain people? So, that will be tonight's topic. And the follow up question is, what about them attracts his attention? So, to address the first question, why does Anubis choose certain people? There are various scenarios that can happen here that can make Anubis interested in someone. So, I don't have an exact number of theories that I will give you, but I guess I'll just start explaining them to you. And number one is, depending on the situation that the person is in their life, may be something that will spark an interest in Anubis on that person. So Anubis typically feels attracted to people who are strong, who are brave, who don't give up so easily, people who have suffered tremendously in their lifetime, people who fight hard for what they want to achieve without losing their honor and their dignity. And what I mean by honor and dignity is by doing things that are not exactly too ethical or becoming corrupted in order to have a position of power. Anubis does admire people who like to fight for what they believe in and for what they want and for those that they love. Anubis admires a person who is strong in mind, not necessarily physically. I know that Anubis himself is quite bulky in some depictions where they show him as a very powerful and muscular god. But we're not talking about appearances here, we're talking about mental strength, emotional strength. And this includes the strength of being vulnerable and open about your feelings and your emotions. Do know that when Anubis weights the hearts during the judgment, it is said, and correct me if I am wrong because I am not a historian or archaeologist or Egyptologist here, but it is my understanding that in Egyptian mythology, the true thoughts and feelings of the person are stored in the heart. And that's why the heart is part of the scales of judgment and why it's put against the feather of Ma'at, because it is believed that that's where the true feelings and thoughts and behaviors come from of the person, and how they will know whether the person did good or bad deeds in their lifetime on earth. So, to address your question, and again, I'm going to revise it just to make sure that I am addressing it correctly. Why does Anubis choose certain people? It can, most of the time, be due to a mental and emotional strength. And also, another thing that I want to add in regards to that question is that Anubis really enjoys people who really want to improve themselves and their lives. So if you were, for example, a drug addict or alcoholic or something in your life that really deteriorated you as a person. We're talking about self achievements. I know that's not even a word, but I just made it up. We're talking about being brave and standing in your power. Anubis feels attracted to people who, despite the odds, are people who do not give up so easily on life. Or you have given up on life, but you have not pulled the trigger just yet because there is that spark within yourself where you know that you can get out of this shithole. Now, there can be various other explanations as to why he might feel attracted to certain people, but usually it's due to a quality in that person that he feels attracted to. He doesn't give a shit if you have money, if you make him a huge ass altar. He doesn't care about the physical stuff. Like he has told me during meditation when I felt guilty for not being able to give him what I want to give him, he always tells me that he doesn't give a shit about of what I can offer him because he's not looking for that. What Anubis seeks is a heartfelt and pure and genuine connection to him. We're talking about gods and goddesses that once existed, that were once worshipped immensely in Egypt. And right now, there really aren't people out there who worship them openly as much anymore or at such a large scale. So, no pun intended. So, I lost track. So, when it comes to working with Anubis and why he might feel attracted to somebody, it's usually because of who the person is at their core. He really cares about the person being genuine and true to themselves. And if he sees that a person is not being true to themselves, he will expose you to yourself. So you can expect that to happen when you work with him. He doesn't like people who keep secrets of themselves, to themselves, with themselves, if I am making any sense here. He doesn't appreciate that. He is all about being genuine, honest, authentic, real, and direct, and straight to the point. And so there might be one of these qualities within yourself that he might feel attracted to. Now, not necessarily limited to just that. I want you to understand that there are many things that Anubis can feel attracted to you. So it's all about pretty much asking him yourself. So if you feel that Anubis is contacting you, reaching out to you, wanting you to work with him, you can take the opportunity of meditating with his image in mind. You don't really have to have like a figure next to you or a picture on your computer. If you can't or don't want to, you can have him in your mind's eye and connect with him energetically. You can also ask him, why did he felt attracted to you in the first place, and see what he answers, usually in the form of dreams. But in a nutshell, to summarize, some of the most common things I've observed based on other devotees of Anubis is that he feels attracted to them usually because they have one of the qualities that he stands for. So justice, guiding the dead. So you could be a psychic medium who helps spirits to move on. Maybe you are a death doula. You prepare people who are about to pass away and move on to the afterlife. Anubis is a great guide to help you with that if you take care of the elderly and people who are in their final moments. Perhaps you have a strong burning desire to bring in justice in regards to something that really pisses you off. Perhaps you are somebody who has overcome something really tough and challenging in your life. Maybe this was depression. Maybe you did try to commit suicide but survived. And now you have a second chance in life. Perhaps you defeated alcohol or drugs, or some other aspect in your life where you overcame this challenge. And Anubis is all about challenges. He really does like to put you to the test and see how strong you are and see if you break easily or not. And something I want to tell you, I know this might scare you a little bit. Do not be afraid of the challenges that Anubis will put you through, because he is about self-growth and empowerment, and also about overcoming obstacles in your life. There is a reason why he is called the opener of the way, I believe. I'm not sure if it's him or his other self. There is this other aspect. There is this white jackal. I am going to destroy his name, but his name is Wepawet. You might have seen or heard that name somewhere before. So it's pretty much like a white jackal that is typically associated with Anubis. So I think I might be confusing them. Anubis is usually the guide, and Wepawet is the one who opens the way. Don't quote me on that, because again, I am not an expert in Egyptian history and all that stuff. But Anubis is technically a guide, so he does guide you through a path. So in a sense, I would consider him some sort of, opener of the way. If that makes sense, of course. Remember, Anubis will not give you a challenge that you cannot overcome. So this is about the mindset. Mindset in the sense of overcoming your own BS, belief systems, bullshit. I think you were thinking about the latter one. It's actually the former, but it can go both ways. So Anubis is great when it comes to overcoming belief systems in yourself. So if Anubis brings you a challenge, don't be alarmed, don't be scared. Or you can always be scared, because we want to be genuine here. We want to express how we truly feel. However, something that I always tell everybody is to not dwell on, do not rely on this low vibrational state, in this pittiness, self-pity or wallowingness, or Anubis doesn't really have the time to be babying people around. He wants you to look at things head on, but he wants you to overcome them and to not dwell in negativity forever. So you do want to feel whatever you feel, but not remain stagnant in that place or area for long. Because Anubis is about overcoming things and challenges and improving the self and, leveling up and coming to a better place. But of course, it's easier said than done. I still have my own traumas to go through and to overcome and, face before overcoming and then healing and then moving on and all that stuff. So in a nutshell, to summarize the first question, why, well, let me check the question again before I forget. So those could be a few of the reasons why Anubis chooses certain people. It's usually always, to make it as simple as I can, it's because Anubis sees something in you, a quality or a spark. It's usually something about the self, not something external like titles, money, altars. No. He is very simple in that regard. So when Anubis approaches you, it's usually because you have something within yourself that he admires. So think about it. What do you have within yourself that might interest him? Make a list of all of your qualities and also your skill sets. If you're not sure, because I'm not sure what qualities I have within myself. And that reminds me of myself because when I come to sit down and list something about myself, I have a hard time. I'm like, I don't really think I do this and that, or that I am this and that. If you have problems coming up with qualities within yourself that you have, ask your friends, ask your family, hey, what qualities do you guys see in me? It can be quite challenging sometimes to see the good within ourselves. And that could be in a way why Anubis may feel attracted to certain people, to help them overcome that BS in themselves and help them realize their true potential. Now, in regards to the second part of your question, what about them attracts his attention? And if I am not mistaken, I believe I may have answered that question as well. I feel so bad right now for not reading it sooner because I feel that I answered it in the video. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. So Jinx Bites, thank you so much for those two fascinating questions. I really enjoyed answering them. And of course, if you do have follow-up questions, or if you want me to elaborate more on something in regards to this video as a whole, or something entirely different that was inspired by this video, or that you remembered in the questions you made me, feel free to let me know down below. And everybody else, also feel free as well to let me know down below in the comments section. What do you think? What are your thoughts on Jinx Bites questions? What else can you add to what I just said and share with you guys tonight? Let me know. I am interested in knowing what you guys think of this as well. And again, thank you, Jinx Bites, for such a fascinating couple questions. I really enjoyed it, and I also hope that I was able to answer them properly and clearly. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and before I let you go, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell and click on see all so that you get all the notifications of any future uploads that I'll be making on this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye!